Yeah. DJ Treylow podcast, man. Coming at you. NFL Open Sunday. September is it 8th or September 7th? I think it's September 7th. Hold on, let me check. No, I was wrong. September the 8th. So NFL's kicking off today at about 12 o'clock. You had the first game with the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears on Thursday was like the NFL opener, but this is like the main day for NFL. And first game, Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers 2019. It was kind of weird. It was a really weird game because, you know, I've watched Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers for like the last 5 or 6 years. And he's a big offense juggernaut, like high offense plays, everything like that. The defense has sucked. And all of a sudden I watched the Green Bay Packers this year, and it's like the defense is actually good. And it was like a low scoring game. So I was like, what the hell am I watching? Like, am I watching the Packers or am I watching the Ravens or some shit? Anyways, DJ Treylow podcast. I guess I'm going live on this vocal thing. I did a lot of podcasts on YouTube. If you check me out, D Myers 45 on YouTube, you can see some of my live podcasts I've been doing. But I kind of miss, just doing it just audio, man. It's something different about doing just audio versus a camera looking at you. Because when the camera's looking at you, like, am I looking okay? You be looking back at yourself, making sure, you're wearing the right t-shirt, you got the right scenery around you, shit like that, man. It's kind of stupid. And I'm still working with this, figuring out my condenser mic. I thought I had it figured out last week, but I didn't have it figured out correctly. And trying to get the right vocal settings for my GarageBand on my MacBook Pro and stuff like that. And I'm getting a lot of echo feedback, shit like that. I'm trying to take out the recording. So I'm just back to the basics, man, which is like iPhone recording, which is cool, man. I kind of like iPhone recording because, you can pretty much record anywhere. You can walk around the house. You can go for a drive. You can record in your car, and do the podcast. You don't have to be limited to like one area. That's the only thing I hate about filming a podcast is you got to actually sit in one room and be limited to the camera screen. You know what I'm saying? So DJ Treylow podcast, September the 8th, 2019. NFL season starts today. My 49ers are going to play Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3:25. Unfortunately, I live in Texas, and the Dallas Cowboys is playing the New York Giants at 3:25. So I'm going to be at probably Buffalo Wings or Pluckers or whatever with watching the game, and there's going to be a bunch of damn Cowboy fans watching their game, and it's going to be loud and annoying because, most Cowboy fans are pretty annoying and loud when it comes to like Texas Cowboy fans. No hating. I'm just saying. That's just the way it is, man. You can't watch the game with it quiet. They're all hollering and shit, like all excited. And the first game of the damn season, man, if you watch football, man, and you don't have like the NFL direct TV package. I got that promotion when I first got my direct TV, but then like you get sucked in. Like direct TV is like the worst, man, for a business because they'll sign you up for NFL Sunday Ticket, which is their NFL package. If you don't watch local teams, and then the next year they won't tell you, man. You know what I'm saying? Unless you call them and tell them, hey, I don't want the NFL Sunday Ticket, they'll just charge you, and that sucker's like $300 just to watch some NFL games that aren't local, in your state. So, man, fuck that shit, man. They just rip you off, and they so slick about it. They'll just hand you the bill, and 1 minute your bill be like $95, the next month your bill be like $350. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's just like the worst business that you have is DirecTV, and they got you locked into a contract. So it's not like you can call them up and say, hey, fuck you, I'm quitting, because then they'll hit you with like a $300 fine, and then you'll fuck up your credit. So just think twice before you get DirecTV. I mean, it's okay. It's got some channels that nobody else got, like Audience and shit like that, some weird shit. But I mean, just take that into account. And then also, like, check this out. Every 2 years, they give you a 2-year contract. After your first year is expired, your second year kicks in. Well, all the perks from the first year are gone. So like all the discounts and everything are gone off your contract. So when the second year kicks in, it's going to go from like $100 bill to like, almost $200 a month. And then you can call them up and say, hey, what the fuck, man? I signed up for a 2-year contract. You said that this price is going to stay the same for 2 years. And it's not. They screw you, man. And they don't even tell you on that shit either. I had this one time, when I was at the end of my contract with DirecTV. And of course, if you at the end of the contract, all of a sudden they kiss ass because they say, like, we ain't got this fish on the line. He's not hooked no more. He can just tell us to fuck off and quit doing the contract. So this is like the worst business, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the worst business hustle. It's kind of like you're the bitch when you're in your contract. Unless you're going to pay the $300 and get out. So, what will happen is, like, when you sign up for a new contract, like, I'll say, hey, man, I want to guarantee that after my first year, my bill stays the same. And I talked to the lady on the phone, she sat up there. I should have recorded the conversation and got her ID number, the manager number, everything. Because she sat up there and promised me on the phone at least 2 or 3 times when I was talking to her that my rate wouldn't change after the first year. Because I said, I know how y'all do things. I know after the first year, the contract will shoot up. So, she promised 3 times. I'm sitting up there listening to her 3 times. And I swear I should have recorded her. You know what I'm saying? And then within that, I agreed to another contract. Because, the only thing bad about, saying fuck you to a cable provider is you got to start all over again. That means you got to do installation fees and shit like that. Like, say you say fuck you to DirecTV and you go with Spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And some people switch back and forth all the time just to get the perks, like the discounts. If they can't get the discounts, they'll go with another company. The only thing wrong with that is, like, every time you switch, you have to just think like a process fee, installation fee, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get charged a lot that first month. So, sometimes it's cool to just keep the same company and get the perks, and DirecTV, even though they do shady fucking business and try to stab you in your back every time they get a chance, sometimes I'm like, well, shit, it's cheaper to roll with you than to go with a new company and do the installation fees and all that crap. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, well, it's cheaper to roll with you with the perks. But like I said, after the year goes by, they didn't hold up to their promise. A year goes by, my bill goes through the roof just like before, and I call the lady up, and they act like they didn't know what I was talking about. Like, no, they didn't. Who did you talk to? Did they give you ID number? Blah blah blah, all this shit. So, piece of advice: when you talk to DirecTV, if you get DirecTV as your cable provider, make sure you record the conversation, so that way you can sue their bitch ass when they sit up there and raise your bill. You know what I'm saying? And say they're not gonna raise it. Anyways, man, I'm just waking up this morning, getting my ass up out of this bedroom, in the bathroom and shit. So, moving around my house a little bit. Now, I had a Switch unit with the Joy-Con drift problem. I'm fixing to send in my Joy-Cons to Nintendo. They will fix them for free now because they realize they made a shitty system that don't work worth a damn. So if your Joy-Cons are drifting means that you're not even pushing the jog wheels and it'll start like moving around on your screen like you're pushing left to right and you're not. That's called drifting. And it's a real problem with the Nintendo Switch. That's why Nintendo said, hey, we're going to fix them for free for you. All right. Let me see what see if I can get this thing going. Okay. Now, yesterday, Texas Longhorns played LSU. And unfortunately, I had to drive the bus yesterday right next to Texas Memorial Stadium, San Jacinto. It wasn't as bad as the opener, like the week before when I drove the bus by the stadium. It was horrible because it was like the first game of the season for college football. So, like, you got all these dumbasses that don't know what they doing, where they going, where to park at. And then you got all these tailgaters out here just hanging out for no fucking reason. I mean, why would you want to sit outside in a hot-ass sun? I could see if it's like 70, 80 degrees, and it's a nice, cool day, and you outside chilling, drinking you a beer, eating you a hot dog, watching a football game, tailgating. But I don't see the point of sitting out in a hot-ass sun when it's like 100 degrees or more, and you're drinking beer, and you're not even in the game. Like, you're just sitting out, like, inside a tent, tailgating, eating a hot dog, sweating your balls off, you know what I'm saying? And you're not even watching the game inside the game. You know what I'm saying? What was it? I just really don't. I mean, that's like, I guess that's a team spirit thing. I've never been into that because that's just retarded to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I would be out there if it was a nice day. It's like 70, 80 degrees, and, I could actually enjoy the weather. But I don't understand people that just go out when it's super hot. What are you thinking like the team's going to roll by and be like, yay, good team spirit? They don't give a damn if you're sitting out there or not. You're just sitting out there with the television eating a hot dog. Nobody gives a damn except you. You know what I'm saying? The people out there think, oh man, we're showing team spirit, man. We're doing, man, people rolling by gonna see us out here and shit. And man, I represent my team. Nobody gives a damn about that shit. You retarded, man. You out there in the hot ass sun eating a hot dog and sweating your balls off, drinking a beer, when you could be at home watching the same game on TV and some cool AC. So I don't understand the point. It messes up the traffic. It's retarded. And you're too cheap to go. I shouldn't say the word retarded. That's like a bad word now. It's stupid. Well, I don't know if stupid is a good word or not. But you're messing up traffic. And you know what I'm saying? To me, there's no point. Like, if you're going to be cheap, just pay for a ticket and get in the game, And there's people out there that were tailgating from the night before. I heard like this lady tell me in Subways that some people from LSU were tailgating from the night before. Now that's really fucking stupid. What, did you set up a tent outside? You know what I'm saying? Just so you can mark your little territory. Say, hey, I'll tailgate it right here. Like, nobody gives a damn, dude. You know what I'm saying? Take your ass inside somewhere. But I guess it's a place where everybody goes to mingle, like big crowds of people. To go mingle and talk and bullshit with each other, whatever. It's stupid for me because I'm a bus driver. I'm like, you're just sitting up there making traffic 10 times worse for no reason because you're cheap and you can't buy a ticket to the game. I'm not going to be outside a stadium unless I'm going inside with a ticket. Now, these tailgaters might hear this podcast and might want to whoop my ass, okay? But, I'm not scared of anybody. I got my opinion. And if you got a problem with it, you can come say it to my face and we can get into it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, DJ Treylow podcast on iTunes. DJ Treylow podcast on YouTube, but not this week. I'm not going live. So it's D Myers 45 if you want to watch the old podcast. Amazon.com. Go punch in David Patrick Myers. You'll have 2 of my novels. I'm still working on the last one, man. I've been kind of lagging these last couple of weeks, but I've been vacationing so much, man. Like the last 3 weeks, every weekend, I've been doing like little mini vacations and like big vacations. I get to the point, man, where I'm like, I don't want to sit up there and wait for like 2 or 3 months to do a vacation. So, if I don't feel like staying in Austin, when I'm on my days off, I do a little mini vacation, which is only like 2 days. You can drive down to Galveston or go to I went to Oklahoma to the casino, gamble last week. Now, let me tell you about that experience. Something to talk about. I didn't pay attention to the signs, man, because I went with this chick named Tanya. She's a cool chick. She has her issues. I think I said some shit on the earlier podcast about her taking some chicken from my house and shit without asking. But we got over that because, she apologized or whatever and all that shit. So my thing is this, man. I took Tanya, but from the jump, when we were going down there, she said, I need to cash a check at Walmart. So I'm like, okay, cool. Before we go to the casino, cash a check. I thought it was going to take in and out 5 minutes. She was in fucking Walmart for a whole hour. Come to find out her IDs have expired. I'm not trying, she probably hear this podcast and be like, you talking bad about me, telling everybody my business. I don't care, because you made me sit outside in the car waiting for you at Walmart for a whole hour. Now, that should have been a sign right there, but, my dumbass don't want to listen. Like, when you're going to gamble, you want to make sure everything happens very smoothly, because then you got luck on your side. If everything don't happen smoothly and you're going to gamble, you're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? So that should have been a sign right there that I'm probably going to lose, because luck's not on my side, because that whole situation screwed the whole day up. Okay? Then we get all the way out to Oklahoma, and we sitting around at the hotel talking about, we hungry. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go get some food, because I was going to go to the store anyways. I'll just pick up a pizza or whatever. I'm driving to the store and shit. Here come the lights behind me. Now, I drank a little bit, but that was way earlier in the day. But I'm still paranoid, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to get a DWI and shit. This is out in the country, next to the border. So the lights pop on behind me. My nuts go into your throat. Every time the police lights go whoop behind you, you're like, oh, fuck. You're hoping that they're going around you. That's your first thing when you see police lights behind you. You're like, okay, shit, maybe they got a call and they're just, driving behind me and they're just going to fucking fly around me. And I'm going to be like, cool. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, whenever you start to pull over and they're pulling over behind you, you're like, fuck, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Then you start getting, like, paranoid. You're like, shit, do my breath smell like alcohol? Does the car smell like alcohol? I know I hadn't drunk nothing in hours, but just paranoid anyways. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want a DWI. You don't want to lose your job, especially with me, because I got a CDL. So a cop comes up. He's cool, man. He's like, what you doing up here? I said, I'm going up to WinStar. He said, oh, you're going to go gamble, blah, 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 because I guess everybody comes through that town to go gamble. And he's like, man, I'm just going to give you a warning, because your license plate light was out. Now, how the hell am I going to know some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless I walk around my car. So at least he gave me a heads up. I can go down to AutoZone, give me a little bulb, put my license plate in it. But that was a bad experience, man. Like, that fucked my whole vibe up. I didn't even want to party after that. You know what I'm saying? Or go to the casino. I was like all fucking nervous and paranoid. So that was another sign. I didn't pay attention to that either. That was like bad luck. So I decided to go to the casino anyways. Sit down with Tanya, and there's this chick, she was playing, I was pretty wasted already. I didn't even care. I wasn't even really concentrating on the games, doing what I was supposed to. I lost like $100 in my first, I bet $100 on the first hand of blackjack. I don't know what I was doing. Usually you bet like $25, $20. I bet a whole $100 and lost a whole $100 in like 2 minutes. The first hand I lost. I was like pissed off, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go through another $400, $500, whatever. So the next time I'm going to pace myself, because we went to a $5 table. So I'm pacing myself, paying a little $5. But I'm just losing, steady losing. And half the time I'm not even paying attention, just laughing and shit. So I lost about another $300. And, I didn't win shit. Walked out of there broke, lost about $400. So the lesson to this whole experience is, what I'm telling you, is pay attention to the signs early in the day. Like, if something's going bad early in the day, don't force it. And a lot of people out there force the shit. And, they don't listen to the signs, man. The signs are always out there. You just got to watch for them, because a lot of people just force the shit and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this anyways. And force the shit. And the day turns out fucked up all day. Because if the signs are there and you're not paying attention to them, and that's on you if your day's fucked up. So watch the signs, man. Watch these signs. They're called omens back in the day. There's an omen, kind of lets you know, heads up, like, boop, boop. Okay, you're going to have a bad day. Pay attention. I'm sober than a bitch this week. Like I said, I had to go to the dentist and get on these antibiotics, man. So I ain't been drinking like in a damn near 5 or 6 days. So, man, the first couple of days I was going through withdrawals like a mug, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you're addicted to alcohol. Like, the first couple of days, man, your nerves be shot to shit. You be pissed off. And then after about 2 or 3 days, you start getting used to not drinking. So you're like, cool. I can handle not drinking now. And people always say I'm an alcoholic. Let me tell all the people that say I'm an alcoholic, like, just to throw a little insult in the wind. They say, hey, you drink too much, you're an alcoholic. I still got a job, and I kept that job for 14 years. If I was an alcoholic, I wouldn't be able to do that shit. Okay, alcoholics are somebody that drinks so much that they wind up, every part of their life is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Lose their job, lose their house, lose their relationship. That's an alcoholic. We're all alcoholics technically, but you're not considered an alcoholic until something negative happens. Just like with drug addicts. You can be addicted to drugs, but until the drugs make a negative impact in your life, you're not a drug addict. See what I'm saying? So that's the whole point of that conversation when people say you're an alcoholic. I tell them straight up, man, I'm not really alcoholic because of the fact that I can quit anytime and maintain. Like I quit for almost a whole month this year just to stay sober for a whole month for like 30 days. So I mean, it's not got that bad to where I can't go a day without it. So basically, I'm not an alcoholic. I like to drink, but I'm not an alcoholic. So anyways, that's what happened yesterday. I was talking about the tailgating, and Texas lost anyways, man. So, you can usually tell when the game's going bad because, like, I'm driving the bus and I'll start seeing the Longhorns fans leaving early. And when you see the fans start to leave early and the game's not even halfway over, you're like, okay, they lost. So, Texas lost, and that's a good thing, man, because I'm from Austin, Texas, and everybody says you got to be a Longhorn fan. Like I said, I'm not a college football fan, college sports fan, period. So I don't give a damn about none of that shit, man. I think it's stupid, man. Like I said on another podcast, it's like rich schools versus like poor schools, and rich schools are always gonna win because they got the most money, the most recruitment. You know what I'm saying? And the poor schools are just going to lose. So it's not an even playing field. So it's kind of stupid. Like I never got into college sports at all. So I was kind of glad to see Texas lose because I'm tired of all these, Longhorn fans. And it's one thing to be going to college at Texas and be a Longhorn fan. But like you got all these fans here in Austin, Texas that aren't even like associated with the college, never been to the college. And they just want to show like, oh, we're fans of Longhorns, and it's like you never even been to that college, dude. Okay, I mean, but I guess if you want to be a fan, you want to be a fan. But I mean, that's just kind of stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it comes to NFL, I've been to my team stadium, seen the games, all that shit. So it's different, I guess. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the same. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm being too judgmental on them. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop news, man. Lil Durk dropped the album. I hadn't really listened to it. I listened to the Jeezy, the Young Thug, and the Rick Ross. I listened to some of that. Young Maul. I listened to his new album. Like it was okay. It's pretty short. It's got Lil Got It on there on one song. It's not bad, man. I got into Young Maul when they had that when him and it was the other little dude, man. Is it Lil Trail and Young Maul? I don't know. It's like two of them, man. I got one of the mixtapes, and then I started jamming them out, and then like I started liking it. So then I said, man, Young Maul is pretty good, man. So I bought his little new CD. So I recommend it, man. If you into the youngster kind of music, like I listen to everything. I listen to these youngsters. I listen to old people, and I'm an old school dude, man. I'm already like 42, but I still listen to the young rappers, man. I don't get some of these people in my generation like I'm not gonna listen to that baby. He was a damn baby when I was like 20 years old. The dude wasn't even born yet. Like he don't even know nothing about life. But sometimes these youngsters be saying some throw stuff, man. They be really like saying some live stuff in their rap. So I still listen to them, man. And like older people be hating. They just want to listen to like people from their generation. And it's like that's outdated, man. You gotta go with everything, man. You gotta listen to everything, man. So that's another thing. I listen to youngsters. I listen to I do a variety, man. I don't just listen to my generation rap. I listen to all kinds of shit. So Young Maul, go cop that. Austin, Texas, September 8th. Hopefully my 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. I don't really have too much faith in Garoppolo, man. I mean, like I said, it's what we was talking about with omens, man. I mean, the dude comes in and he wins like 5 games at the end of the season, and they're meaningless games. So there's no point in like, winning or losing in. The pressure's off. When they're meaningless games, the pressure's off. So you can pretty much just do whatever. Like if I'm playing Madden and I know I'm like down 40 points, I can just get experimental and like actually I play better like that than when the pressure's on and I can actually like it means something. So he won 5 meaningless games with no pressure, and then he starts the last season. He only wins 2 games, and then he breaks his ACL. So I'm like, I really don't have too much faith in this dude, man. Not until I really see something happening with this dude, and he actually plays some good games. Other than that, like today, when he plays Tampa Bay, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm like, I don't really know if I have faith in this dude. Like he's gonna actually win the game, or we actually gonna be a decent team. I really don't have faith in Kyle Shanahan. Because I'm like, dude, regardless of if you have a star quarterback or not, you should have won more games than that. Like you're like 5-4. I don't even know. He's like out of his 2 seasons, he's only like won like maybe 8 games. I mean, he's got like super losing record, man. So I'm like, come on, man. I mean, if you're a good coach, regardless if you have a star quarterback or not, you're gonna win more games than that. I mean, you don't have to win every game. You don't have to have a winning record. Because I know you paid Garoppolo all this money, $140 million. You want to make sure that you get your star quarterback in, and have fans watch the game and all this shit. I understand that concept. You don't want the backups to look better than the star, and you paid them all this money. But the thing is, he still should have won some more games, bro. If you're a good coach, you still should have won some more games. So that's questionable right there. And they always got excuses like, we got too many injuries, da-da-da. Nah, bro. Like, if you're a good coach, you're going to win some games. You know what I'm saying? So I have questions about him. And they signed him to a 5-year contract. And right now we're going into our 3rd year. Got 2 more years on the line. John Lynch is our general manager. And, he was over there at Denver Broncos. He was a good-ass defensive linebacker or whatever. But, I don't know if he's made the right choice with Kyle Shanahan. Like, Kyle Shanahan, like I said, before he was even a 49er coach, he went over there and blew a whole Super Bowl, man. Come on, man. I mean, you was up 28-3 to the Patriots. All you had to do was run the ball the whole second half, and you would have been there. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that would have came back. But he blew the whole Super Bowl with his ideas of throwing all these passes and then wind up losing the whole game. So, come on now. If you've done all that, then you come over and sign a head coaching job in 49ers. I don't really have too much confidence in it. And the big news now is AB was like, forget the Raiders. He went over there and played like he was crazy and shit so he'd get out of his contract. Now he's over there with the Patriots. Smart move. Like, he knows the Raiders ain't going to be shit. He knows Derek Carr ain't going to be shit. He knows Gruden ain't going to be shit. I watch Hard Knocks, and that shit was like, I was like, come on, man. Y'all are a joke. Sitting up there, having Frank Caliendo come in and do impressions of y'all, knocking on wood and all this and that, thinking y'all gonna be a good team. And I'm like, come on, man. From what I've seen, the leadership skills was like really lacking over there. It was kind of a joke team. So if AB saw all that and said, man, you know what, I'm gonna hang up my boots over here and go, just act crazy and get out my contract and then go over to the Patriots. Hey, smart move to them. The Patriots are serious and they're a well-run organization, and they ain't about no bullshit over there. And they're champs. So we'll see how it plays out. Sorry for your Raider fans. Thought AB was going to be playing for y'all this year. And he's not. Antonio Brown. I like him. I don't care what people say about him being crazy and all the media says he got some screws loose, man. Just from watching, like, Hard Knocks, I could just tell he's a millennial, man. And, like, millennials, they just act different, man. Sometimes they mad 1 minute, the next minute they cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you deal with some of the older generation that ain't used to that kind of behavior. But I'm used to seeing it, and I know millennials are like that, man. They just, you live in the day and age now with social media, man. And social media is like, okay, 1 minute you post some shit, and then the next minute you be like, fuck it, I didn't feel like, I changed my whole swagger. People don't hold on to shit for more than like it's just like the computer, like you should post shit every hour. It's like your whole mood changes. So people don't hold on to shit like, the millennials are like on. Like an hour later, they're over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people from the older generation, everything moves slower, So it's not like that. So it's kind of like they have to blend with this new kind of swag. This everything's changed like every second. You know what I'm saying? It's not like stuff stays the same for a long period of time. But you still, even though times have changed. You still need strong leadership. You still need somebody to look up to. You still need role models. The generation has changed as far as, things meaning stuff for long periods. Like, you make a statement, I don't like this dude. You might not like the dude for an hour, but then after 2 hours you'd be like cool with them. See what I'm saying? That might change, but as far as like foundation, leadership, stability, role models, all that shit in human beings have not changed. So you still need that for the youngsters or the younger generation coming up. So this DJ Treylow podcast checking out with y'all. I'm going to get off this thing because I'm rolling into 30 minutes. Check me out, man. September 8, 2019. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.